So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one. I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a dick theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do it.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Atom.
And this is Mr. Atom. Oh, yeah, so I'm supposed to continue.
Yeah.
And, we're still figuring this shit out. You've joined us here on By the By, our semi-automated, random time delivered podcast.
Yeah, basically whenever we,
Look,
get it
people,
done
you
and
get it
feel
when
like
we
it.
want it. Yeah, we'll give it to you when we want to give it to you.
Right, okay.
Look, I'm
wow.
all grr tonight.
Apparently.
Grr.
Can't wait till we get to the bedroom.
I know.
It's gonna be
Me
exciting.
too. I don't know if it's like the last couple of times we've podcasted. We'll get all naked and you'll do your face cleaning thing. We'll both brush our teeth so we have fresh, clean breath. And then we'll lay down and
Snuggle up.
and pass the absolute royal fuck out.
But those times we had a lot of wine. This time we don't. We have
No,
water
I-
and tea.
I'm drinking water, ladies and gentlemen.
I have tea.
All right, everybody, sit back down. I know. Please don't turn us off. I promise to be inappropriate, but
We've already had wine and beer.
we went to our local pub here in Crow's Nest, and we had a number of cocktails,
Yeah.
beers, wines, miscellaneous. It is raining like you would not believe out there.
If you hear stuff in the background, that's all the rain that we're currently
Yeah.
getting. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
it's currently wetter outside than Mrs. Adam.
That's hard, but
I know,
it's true.
right?
It's
It's
true.
true.
It's very true.
The shit's pouring down. Anyway, yeah. So, hey guys, how you going?
All right, so what have we been up to?
Who haven't we been up to? So, anybody who listens has known that we've been in a dry spell for a while.
But we broke it.
And we were wetter than it is outside. All right, so we'll start with me because last Thursday I had my second official date with the new beau, who I have a massive crush on this guy. Like, he is massively crush worthy. Mrs. Adam gets to meet him tomorrow night.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I'm excited because I've only seen 2 pictures of him, I think, and he's quite adorable on both of them. And from what I've heard, he sounds like a really nice person and whatnot. So I am curious to meet him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know I'm bad. I like all my partners. I have a few partners floating around out there.
Yeah.
Some of them are less than communicative. Some of them are more than communicative. But anyway, he's the most recent male, and this guy's something special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, So we went out and had fun. I met some of his friends. He showed me around his apartment.
We know how that goes.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Quote unquote showed you around his apartment.
Yeah. I showed him around the things I brought. Oh, come on.
Right. No,
I'm trying to be nasty, but not nasty. Look, we totally we did it. We done did it.
Yeah.
No, but it was nice because he's sweet and compassionate and like very passionate about touching, which is important
We're
for me.
both big touchers.
We're both big touchers. So yeah, it was great. So that went so well that maybe one day this work week, we were texting back and forth and flirting, and one dare led to another dare, and blah 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 blah, and dot dot dot. Next thing you know, he's at our apartment, so he got to see our place.
Yeah. You showed him around the apartment?
I showed him around the apartment. Gave him the grand tour, if you will. And yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, he's a very good top. Very compassionate, very focused on me as a bottom, and it was really good.
So far a keeper.
Yeah, sploosh worthy, as I like to say. Yeah, so
yeah, I'm excited
to
meet him.
That's me. let's see, this past weekend we went out with Danny and Sandy again. We hadn't seen
Yes.
them in ages, really. It
It's
felt like
been a while,
it hadn't
yeah.
been that long, but we hadn't seen them in a
play way. Yeah.
But we went out and met some of their friends, their vanilla friends, which is always funny. So at one point, of course, as it always happens, whenever you meet play partners' friends, one of the questions they ask is,
How did you meet?
yes, how the fuck do you answer that? I mean,
And we've had several suggestions in the past as to, ways that you could do that. Some people, I know C&D at one point talked on their podcast, Swinging Down Under, about, a wine club,
Yeah.
because that was a joke with a swinging club up in Queensland, I believe.
yeah.
But,
It's
so
called the wine club or something. Or
yeah,
something. Vino.
No, it's
Chateau Vino or
Chateau
something.
Vino, yeah.
Chateau Vino.
So anyway, there's things like that, and you can make up all these elaborate stories, or you cannot. Most often, we just tell people that we meet up. Whenever that question's asked of us for a play partner, we just say we met online, which is almost always true.
The problem with Danny and Sandy is they live out in the royal fucking boondocks.
Right, and it's, I think, because of their lifestyle, they have children, and so it's more family oriented.
Yeah.
A lot of their friends they meet through their kids.
Yes.
And so it's just a different mentality that people have, and so it's a lot harder. As soon as you say you meet online, then there's a million more questions.
Yeah.
And so the typical response that we've had with them has been through his previous work.
Yes.
Because his previous work coincides with one of my hobbies, or hobbies at least in the States.
Sex toys.
And yes,
Kidding.
absolutely.
Not sex toys.
And so it was always something, we could play off. But then, and so we did this time, we did the same story.
Yeah.
And
But when it was asked, if you looked at Sandy and me, we
Yeah.
both looked like somebody had smacked us. We were like, oh.
so Danny very fortunately answered the question, then I took off with it and went running.
Yeah.
And it was fine. But then much later in the evening, we were at another bar with the same people. We had migrated at that point, and we were sitting around the
Two
table.
new people.
Yes, true. 2 new people had
That
entered.
was why. That's where this came from.
Okay, and so then there was the whole introduction of everybody else,
Yeah.
and how does everybody know everybody, blah blah blah. And one of the vanilla guys, jokingly, he was like, "Oh, I know them from the Swingers Club."
The four of us, Danny, Sandy, Mrs. Adam, and I, we all shared one of those, like, within less than a second glances between the four of us. And then I about lost my ever fucking shit. I almost lost it right there.
So we just decided that from now on, that is going to be our
Yeah,
answer.
fuck you.
And
It's the Swingers Club. If you believe it, great. If you don't, great.
if you don't believe it, that's fine.
It
You're
doesn't
in
matter.
your own little world. And if you do believe it, well, then you're obviously okay with what we do. So we kind of like, we're,
Oh my
we're
God,
just
it
going
was
to do
so
that
funny
from now
though.
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was just like, we met them at Swingers Club. Like, oh, sweet vanilla,
If
sweet
only you knew
French
how true
vanilla.
that
If
was.
only you knew. It was great.
Yeah.
I will say one of my biggest issues with that was the Mrs. Vanilla of this vanilla team said something to the effect of, "Yeah, we throw all of our bus cards in a basket." I mean, it was very clearly a reference to
yeah.
keys in a bowl.
Yeah.
I just want to smack people like that. It's like,
But
you
they
know,
don't know. They really
you don't know,
know.
but don't speak about something you don't know. I don't talk about nuclear fission. Okay, I do.
Wow.
I don't talk about Wagner. Oh, I do.
She was trying to be funny and play
And she
along
failed.
and play along with the joke. No, but if the other vanilla people, the new people, they thought it was funny and whatever. Maybe they were just laughing. I don't know, whatever. But I get it and I understand because that's what she thinks it is. And if you don't know any different, I mean, where are you supposed to go with that?
I don't know. I don't know, admittedly. But I feel like I'm not offended by what she said. I want to make that very clear. I am not offended.
No.
But that's not much different than making a gay joke when you don't know any gay people, or a lesbian joke, or, it's...
Fair enough.
It's...
Yeah.
You make a joke based off of stereotypes. You propagate...
That you had no experience with.
You propagate that stereotype.
True.
You're just spreading something that you're not sure of. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But I digress. I don't really care. The vanilla people were adorable in the fact that they were so vanilla.
It was a fun night, though. It was a really good night.
At one point, Mrs. Atom, we were all sitting around playing pool, and I think Danny was trying to sink a ball, and I looked at Mrs. Atom and said, "Go over there and show him your ass," because she was wearing a delightfully beautiful short skirt and a lovely set of stockings. If you follow us on Twitter, you have seen those stockings. And she walks over there and moons the shit out of him. Now, for the record, when I say moon, I thought what I intended was she raises the dress up just enough to see just a little
Just
crack
a
of the
peek.
ass.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He had, it was, if you were going to look at it in the astronomy aspect, I think they would have called that the full moon or the waxing gibbous. It was right along there. It was, woof. Woof.
And I bent over, so, it pooches out nicely. And,
and she's got a beautiful ass. Anybody who follows on Twitter knows she has a beautiful, beautiful ass. Sorry, I'm back.
We're talking about the vanillas.
I was thinking of your ass. Yeah, so that was fun. I'll let you take on the story from there because I'm still going to imagine your ass. Please continue.
You've seen it enough today.
I have not seen it. We'll talk about that here
Yes,
in a bit.
I know.
Hey,
No, the
ladies
rest
and
of the
gentlemen, remind
evening-
us. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, but the rest of the evening was a lot of fun. It was, even though the friends of our friends were very vanilla, it was still a fun evening. It was, and we were still our normal whatever selves. We cranked the same
Unfiltered.
jokes. Yeah, we don't filter ourselves.
You know what? If you don't like us, fuck you.
Yeah, but they were, even though they're vanilla and they aren't, swingers and whatever, they still have a similar sense of humor.
Yes.
And so they were cracking, similar jokes along the lines of what we were, and it was a good evening. So we went to a few bars and went out with them, and then Danny and Sandy came and stayed the night with us.
Yeah, they did. Brown chicken, brown cow. Moo.
Yes.
I don't know.
So we
what I
had a little bit of play with them when we came back.
Yes, we did. Some of us had drank too much. Hi, my name is Mr. Adam, and my blood alcohol content was like 0.15.
Yeah.
So I didn't do any successful penetration that night.
There was
But
a lot of oral.
I tried really hard.
There was a lot of oral. There was a lot of
There
play
was a lot of oral.
around between everyone, and it was a good
Oral.
night.
It was good. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, so we went to bed around 2 a.m. Then the next morning, poor Danny had to work.
Yeah.
Anybody who works on a Sunday morning, wah wah, we felt bad for him.
We did. So bad, in fact, that we had to keep Sandy company.
That we made breakfast for Sandy and Mr. Adam, head chef extraordinaire. I had made some orange rolls from
Yes,
scratch.
they were delicious.
And we
Complete
made
with
some
icing?
coffee and the icing. Yeah, just wait, the icing came later. And I proceeded to watch Mrs. Adam and Sandy kind of cuddle up and snuggle each other in the bed, and it was all sweet and romantic.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Adam gets up and says, "I'll be right back." That's what she sounds like in my head. Actually, it's like, "I'll be right back."
More like Minnie Mouse, yeah.
And then she came back, and boom, she had the strapless strap on, and she like shoved that thing in. It was like, whoa, yeah.
It didn't happen quite that quickly.
My version did. Because I cut out the extraneous shit.
Fair enough.
I mean, there was lube involved, sure, but you put the lube on the wrong end, and the next thing you know, it was popping out of you.
I put lube on both ends because I've only used it with you, and there wasn't quite as much lead in this time, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll try a little bit of lube on both sides, and apparently I didn't really need the lube, so then I wiped it off when it came out, and it was all good after that.
Yeah, so...
but, going into her, we, kind of needed some lube just in case, because I don't want to chafe anybody.
No chafing.
So.
But I have pictures and a couple of short videos.
But that was the first time that I used the strapless strap-on with a woman.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. We tried one position first, and it was okay. But then we brought out the wedge from Liberator. And
Bless you, Liberator.
Yeah, and that helped a lot with the second position. And there was a third one that we were like, oh, well, we should, basically with her on top of me. But we never got to that, so we'll try that next time.
Life goals.
Exactly. But it was interesting to try out the different positions with it and just see how it went and whatnot. But I must say that pretty sure I know I fully enjoyed it, and it sounded as if she really did as
Oh
well.
no, she fully enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have the video proof of it. Yeah, it was.
It was fun. It was nice to play with her in that way because she and I have not played with a strap-on before, and so yeah, it was fun to explore and try it out, and I think we both enjoyed it enough to where it'll likely happen again in the not too distant future.
So and then for me, this was a big deal for me, and so a lot of people have trouble believing that this was my first male, female, female threesome.
That's true.
We have had countless couples where it's male, male, female, female, or male, female, male, female, whatever. We've done that numerous times over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And we've had plenty of threesomes, but they've always been male, male, female.
Yep.
It's a different dynamic. It's completely different. And I actually didn't realize how different it was until she was here and it was the three of us.
Yeah.
I thought I would have assumed that I would be more assertive, more gur. I was not. I was still the typical me, in which I was very submissive to both of you, which I actually enjoy, and I think both of you kind of enjoyed it. There was a lot of me nuzzling her while you were going down on her, and I like biting. I'm learning the more that I do it, the more I enjoy biting somebody. Not necessarily to draw blood, of course, but I wouldn't
a playful
mind.
nip.
I wouldn't mind leaving a mark.
Yeah.
But it was fucking hot.
It was very hot. Yeah.
And then we did so. Once it was clear that we were moving to the sex category of the performance, I did something that for me is completely uncharacteristic, I think, and I told both of you guys what I wanted. Just like, this is what I want. I want Mrs. Adam to be riding me cowgirl. I want Sandy to be straddling my face, and I want the two of you to kiss while we're all. I wanted to complete that triangle. I don't think. So that definitely ranks in the top 5 sexual experiences of my life.
Yeah.
I would probably guess that's in the top 3, which is I find very surprising for me, being as male centric as I am. That was one of those great experiences.
I can see that though, because you've got me writing you. You're a very oral person, so you have her on your face, so you're able to satisfy that need and desire. But then you can also see the caring between the two of us. It's
I
not
couldn't
as
see
if
anything.
Oh, you could. Oh,
No,
that's true. Yeah,
but I
you
could hear it,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of caring I could hear. I heard caring, like if caring was a sound, it was like this. Ah! No,
Wait,
was
what?
Yeah,
that doesn't even sound like anything that's come out of this apartment ever.
You sounded like a velociraptor. No.
That doesn't even sound like a velociraptor.
Have you heard of velociraptor? Ha! There you go.
I've heard other people's
Game,
impressions.
set, and match.
I've heard other people's impressions, and that's not it.
Yeah, they're all wrong.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
That's
Sure.
for the velociraptor.
Sure, we'll go with that.
That's for the velociraptor portion of. That's we should save that for the Triassic portion of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but it was loud, is what I meant.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
were making out like there was a lot of sucking sounds,
hot,
and I can't do a sucking sound without someone over here. But it was like.
There was lots of kissing, and of course her breasts are right there, so there's that to play with as well, which is fantastic. Not gonna say no to that.
She has beautiful nipples.
Yeah.
Like beautiful.
It was really good. Then, like you said, it was different dynamic with 2 females and a male, because with 2 males and a female, depending on who the male is that we've played with, you get one of 2 scenarios. One is that you're both focused on me.
Yeah, you're the star.
And so the odd gender out is the one who's focused on. Or if it's somebody who's higher on the Kinsey scale, then it's you 2 playing more so, and I'm more voyeuristic, a little bit of play kind of thing. But with 2 females and a male, it was more that way, in that you were a little bit more of the odd man out.
I was.
But at the same time, you were still able to be part of it, and to
because
it was almost in a gentle, sweet way.
No, you're right.
It was a very different dynamic, I think. It was good that you asked for what you wanted, because
I knew
That's important though, to be comfortable enough to be able to do that as well.
and that's a good point. It's like I feel, I have very strong feelings for both Sandy and Danny, like extremely strong feelings.
Yeah.
So it was nice to become. I will agree. It's nice to be comfortable to be able to ask for what you want.
Yeah.
And for me, that's very rare because I still have trouble with you sometimes asking for what I want. But I also knew that this is not one. This is for us. This is not something that happens every 6 months. This was the first time in 3 years that we had this opportunity, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm going to ask for exactly what I want."
I'm glad you did.
And
I'm really glad you did.
Me too, because all three of us, when that was over, were like, holy shit, that was intense.
Yeah.
So much so that the next time that the four of us are together, I am going to very willfully take a step back and let
Danny experience
that.
Yeah.
It was that intense. It was that positive that I'm more than happy, watching the three of you guys play. And
let him have that experience.
Taking pictures and video for future scrutiny. But yeah, no, I mean, it was so beautifully hot. Yeah. So yeah, that was Sunday morning.
Yep.
And then Monday evening, we had the new beau come over. He is very...
You're going to have to specify which one, because you just called the other one your new beau.
Oh, that's a good point. God bless. So
this was the
how do I have a threesome?
Yes, it was the straight guy from Thrender. We'll have to come up with a name.
I don't have a good name for him.
Yeah, we got to think on that.
Let's call him. I don't know. So let's call him New Guy.
We'll come up with a name for him.
Yeah. So he. We had the drinks with him weekend before last. We managed to cross paths again this Monday. He came over, was instantly visibly nervous.
Yeah.
As you would expect. This is
absolutely never done it before.
We talked a bit about my first threesome, in which I was 30 minutes early to the couple that I was supposed to meet. It was a male-female couple. I parked about, I don't know, half a mile from their house. I parked in a church parking lot, and I had a really ironic come to Jesus conversation with myself over whether I wanted to do this, what this was going to mean to me, and blah 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 blah. I went to their place, and I had massive issues, performance anxiety. Like, this was the first time I had ever been, sexually playing with a male and a female at the same time, and it was just too much for me. I couldn't do it.
It's really out of your comfort zone.
Do it.
Yeah.
So he came over, and we sat on the couch and we had some wine. I really like him because he asks intelligent questions.
He's fun to talk to.
He's so much fun to talk to. He's so intelligent.
And he's pretty.
He's easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Mrs. Adam and I are both attracted to him. He is 100% straight, which I respect completely.
Yeah.
So I'm not pushing boundaries on that. But he's intelligent, which is so rare for young guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he is about a previous generation before us.
Yeah. Close.
Close enough to call him the generation before us.
After, you mean? Younger. He's younger.
Yeah. So he's younger. Yeah. So he's generation after us.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. That makes sense. Anyway, whatevs. And so, then, I don't know, ... one thing led to another. The next thing you know, I walked into the bedroom because I'm getting our waters and wines and whatnot organized, and Mrs. Adam has already pounced on the poor boy, and she's got her legs wrapped around him, and she's making out with him. It was adorable. Oh, it was so cute. But he took a few breaths to pause to go, this is surreal, and then, is this really happening? And stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, God, dude, I know exactly where you're coming from. Because
we all had a first time.
It wasn't 4 years ago. I was in the exact same boat he was in. But yeah, the night was awesome.
It was fun. We played for quite a while.
And you and I had a few. He's got a nice body, and
yeah,
he's
very
well built.
Yeah. Yes.
He has a young man's body.
And he was able to, pick me up, and
that was hot.
Yeah, I'm not going to say throw me around because that sounds
he could
crass,
throw you around.
But yeah,
he could toss you.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But so one of the things we did was you and I did a little theater for him, in that
Yes.
he had commented that he liked watching us play.
Hmm.
So you and I had a little play in front of him, and that was,
Yeah.
I think he enjoyed that.
He seemed to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It was fun night all in all.
it was. It really was. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that we haven't scared him off.
I hope not. It'd be nice to have him back. So
Yeah,
we'll see if he sticks around.
Yeah, he'd be fun enough to have as a pants-on friend. I like him.
I agree.
I like him. He's
Yeah.
intelligent. He's fun to talk to, and he's very great and easy to bounce ideas off of.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have him pants off if he would like to continue.
Yeah.
But even if not, pants on. He's fun guy.
Oh, so. Pants off would be fantastic, but what
Pants
else?
on. I don't know. I got confused. Pants off, pants on, whatever.
Both would be positive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we would like to do both. But yeah, it's funny because I feel like he's waiting for that moment where I try to come on to him, and
But it's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen
And
because
we
it's
can,
very clear he's not interested.
Right.
In me, and I am completely okay with that.
and we can tell him that. We have told him that. We've made it very clear to him. But at the same time, I don't know what his past experience is or what his biases are in his
Yeah.
head. And so, he may be still thinking, is it going to happen? I don't know. But yeah, you're not going to.
No, I mean,
neither of us is going to push anyone past their boundaries.
No, I don't. I don't do anything without consent.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point now where if he wanted to do something, if he wanted to talk to me about it, then sure.
Right.
But I'm not even going to bring it up again because
No.
I'm watching him with you was so much fun.
Mhm.
Oh God. # hot wifing. Hot. Anyway.
Playing with him was so much fun.
Ah, so cute. Anyway. Yeah. So that's. So we have anything else that's been going on?
We have today.
Oh fuck! Of course we have
Because
today.
we mentioned earlier
We did.
Okay.
See, and I
Okay,
told our
yeah.
listeners to remind me, and they didn't.
Well, we're going to have to, I don't know, punish them somehow.
Yes, we will.
I don't know how to do that, but yeah.
Flogger.
Yes, that's still in the bag.
So what did we do today?
We went to Silver Shadow
Silver Shadow
And-
in Haberfield.
in Haberfield. Haberfield, I forget. I don't know how the Australians say it.
I don't know. They probably dropped half the letters. Definitely the R's. Haberfield. Oi, mate.
Wow, you need to work on your Aussie accent.
That's me. That's me as an Australian.
So yes,
That
we
was
went.
wait. As a side note, that was for you, D. Yeah, I did that one for you. Oi, mate. There's a shark in the water. All right, please continue.
Yes. So yeah, Silver Shadow is the photography studio. I guess Chris Brown's the photographer there.
Yes.
And we had some photos taken by him 2 years ago. It was actually almost exactly 2 years ago
Yeah.
now. We had met him at Sexpo in 2014 and
yeah.
signed up for, a photo package, whatever, with him. And we went and had so much fun doing it.
Yeah. All of our pictures on our website
Yep.
are from that first shoot.
Yep. Yeah. And so we really like his style. He's a fun guy, fun to work with.
Intelligent, non-judgmental. He doesn't.
But he can be sarcastic as hell,
Oh,
which
God,
and
he's-
punny, which goes along with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So it's a great show for me. Yeah, so we really enjoyed that time, and we went back to Sexpo this year. He was there again, so we talked to him and signed up again, and we wanted to go for a slightly different look than what we did last time, and so we had a chat with him about it, sent him some examples of what we were looking for, and he very willingly obliged us today. And
Yeah. So our first shots I would categorize as love.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sweetness and love and love. That's what was.
they're artistically beautiful.
They're artistically beautiful.
Yeah.
What we wanted this time was a little more on the passionate side, and I think the word I would have used is lust.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it too is in the pictures. We wanted to be able to see that tension. that almost angst or anxiety, and
The need.
Yeah.
That physical
desire.
need.
Yeah.
And there was one shot that I love it. I'm so excited by that shot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to convince him to use that as one of their shots from Sexpo next year. It's got my face in it.
We
it's
don't
not
care.
clear, but
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I want to be able to stand next to that picture at Sexpo next year or in a couple of years and go, that's fucking me. Because that I was so excited.
It's a really,
Yeah.
I really like that one. There's quite a few
our
of
Twitter
them.
followers will see it at some point.
You'll see it eventually, yeah. But
if
yes,
if you're worth it, you got to earn it. Oh yeah. Anyway,
there were quite a few that we really, really liked. And so yeah, it was just, again, it was a lot
it's a
of
great
fun
day.
today. And
It's a great day. You know,
yeah.
it's a 6-hour day of photos, and if you've never done anything like that, and these are, I mean, they're all, for us, they were all nude.
Yes. They don't have to be if you don't want them to be, but
That's
what we wanted.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But there's something. It's such a great experience. It's a confidence builder for me, because naked, I am not a confident guy. I'm not, but it's nice to, to get these pictures and then look at them and you're like, oh, wow. Okay. I think for the first time, because Mrs. Adam tells me constantly, she's like, I find you sexy, I find you attractive, blah, 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 blah. But I think for guys, it's a lot harder to see that sexiness and attractiveness, whereas women, it's easy. Because women, you look at it and you're like, all right, you've got, talking about you specifically, you've got large breasts, you've got a small waist, you've got a big ass, you're a clear hourglass, you're petite. I mean, it's easy for most people to look at that description and go, yeah, you're attractive. But for me, you don't get that. If you describe me in words, you get the average guy. Don't make that face. I wish you could see this face. Anyway, she did the frowny face, and then she rolled her eyes, and she's shaking her head, so she does agree with me.
Well, I'm trying to think of what words I would use.
Yeah, what would you, yeah.
And I mean, it is hard because while you are, I'm going to say strong for your size, you're not an overly muscly guy.
No, I'm toned,
you do
but I'm
have,
not.
I was going to say, you're toned and you're thin. You have
Yeah.
nice shape. You have a very nice round pert ass. And you've got these skinny little legs that I am absolutely jealous of.
Yeah, which most people would call chicken legs.
But I'm so jealous of that because that's where I put on weight is, my hips and my legs. And I will never, ever have legs that are as thin and toned as yours.
So you'll never have drumsticks.
And yeah, but I guess it is harder to describe a guy unless they're like a bodybuilder or something.
Or toned, or, because I'm not even toned. I'm not.
Look at those pictures and tell me you're not toned.
Yes, but those pictures are all contrived. We had that conversation. So we'll come back to that in just a second. But the point of that is that, I'm not, if you take me naked without me posing, I'm not toned. I'm well proportioned. I'll admit I'm well proportioned. But it's difficult to see the lines of musculature, because mine aren't that defined.
But
unless
and arguably you don't see that on me either.
No, but again, women don't
Because
have
women
that.
don't have
you
to
don't
be.
have to be
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
You have to have big tits, small waist, and big ass. And
Fair
again,
enough.
I am making a gross
Generalization.
generalization over what society is describing as beautiful. And I
and
think
for boys, that's muscles.
yeah, and for boys, it's tone or muscles, or in the best case scenario, a six pack. In the most awesome case scenario, is lines of Adonis. I have a six pack. It's hiding behind a pony keg. And it's hard for me to look in the mirror and see attractive. It's really
What do
difficult.
you see when you see those pictures, though?
I see something different. I see something that's not me, which is why I like those pictures. It's like there's a picture, in the picture that we keep going back to, because I'm coming back to that one again. Mrs. Adam is on her knees in front of me. I'm sitting on a stool, and there's this, I'm going to say, frightening amount of strength that I'm displaying.
Power.
Yeah, it's power, and I never feel. I think I could count on one hand the number of times in my life that I've looked at myself and thought powerful.
Yeah.
I don't even think I could. Maybe 3 times. I don't look at myself or look at my situation and ever think powerful, because I'm not a powerful person. I'm not physically strong. I'm not emotionally strong. I'm not powerful.
Yeah.
But I look at that picture and I'm like, holy shit, that's someone else. It was awesome. It was it was a very positive experience for me. It was a good confidence builder that I'll probably ride for at least 10 to 14 days. That was exciting for me. I was really excited by the picture. But yeah, it's...
Yeah, I really like it because it does display, you see the power, you see the strength. You're kind of leaning over me, and it's a bit of a switch for us because you're the dominant one in that pose, and I'm very much more the submissive one.
I'm pulling your hair.
Yeah.
I'm like flexing every muscle that I have, both of them.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why I like it, is because it's for one an artistically beautiful picture, and two, it shows us in a very different light and a different pose than how we normally are. Because normally I'm the dominant one and you're the submissive one, and this kind of flips that dynamic a bit, and it's kind of intriguing to see that, and also in such an artsy way that, it's to me, I think it's just really beautiful, and I don't know, everybody out there will see it at some point and they can make their own judgment call.
That's right. And if they disagree with this, it's because they're wrong.
Yeah. I'm happy with how we look.
Me too.
So.
But yeah, so we had...
It was a fun day.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
And yeah, so...
We'll get the pictures up at some point whenever we get them. I don't know when that'll be, but eventually. We'll put a link on our webpage as well to him.
We should auction them off. I'm kidding. We'll show pictures for oral sex. Anyway. But
That's called pimping, not really auctioning.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's for charity.
Sure.
Pimping for charity. Can we pimp for charity? Oh my God.
Sure. Why not?
I wonder how much money we could get.
I don't know.
That's not a bad idea. I'd pimp myself for charity.
Yeah.
I'd pimp you for charity.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah. Like, for the Juvenile Diabetes Association. That'd be kind of awesome.
That could be good.
I mean,
yeah.
An hour with both of us.
Sure.
Anyway, if you're interested in an hour of both of us for charity, please contact us. Contact details will be at the end of every podcast. Mm-hmm. Minimum $5,000. It's for charity. We'll give you a receipt. Tax deduction or something.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically been our last 5 days.
Yeah.
Massive amounts of sex. Both between you and me and between us and others.
Partners, yeah.
We've had in the past 5 days 5 partners.
Yeah.
Some of them twice. Yeah, so fucking A, bloody oath, as they say down here. Anyway, so we've rambled on and on and on, much longer than I expected us to, on what's been going on. So what do we want to talk about this?
We're going to go back in time.
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
And we're going to go back to ladies' night.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Come on.
So, ladies' night at OSS, our secret spot here in Sydney.
Like 2.5, 3 months ago.
It's been a few months ago by now. Yep, sure. But yeah, I definitely wanted to go back and talk about it because it was the second time that we went to OSS.
Yes, we need to go back there more often.
We do. The problem is our evenings get filled up too quickly.
Yeah.
But we will. Yeah, we'll get back more frequently, hopefully in the coming months. But yeah, so we went to our secret spot. We had a ladies' night coming up, and it was the night before we left for a holiday. And so originally we were like, yeah, we want to go, it'll be fun. And what it was is, ladies get in for free, I don't know, like 7 p.m. or something like that. And it's only ladies for the first couple of hours, and then around 9 or so, the guys come in. And of course, guys pay or whatever. I think it was $100 for the guys.
I think so, yeah.
And so the first couple hours were only the ladies, and then the guys could come in and join. And so, being the night before a holiday for us, we were really keen to do it and to go until that day. We were so tired.
Like, oh,
and
God.
both of us were just like, oh, maybe we should just skip it, whatever. except that it was going to be our first time meeting Tony and Maria.
Yes,
We had
face to
been
face.
face to face. We'd been chatting with them online, and we'd had a lot of really great conversations with them. We were really keen to meet up with them, and
Because
so
they're fucking gorgeous.
yes, inside and out. And so we were, planning on meeting up with them before the ladies' night, having a drink or so, and then going there. And so admittedly that day we were both tired. We would have backed out if it hadn't been for Tony and Maria, and I'm really
Yeah.
glad that we didn't.
Me too.
And so we ended up meeting them for a drink at a bar next to OSS, and had great conversation, a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It was like meeting up with old friends, even
It
though
really
we'd
was.
never
It
met
was
them
so
before.
easy talking to
Yeah.
them. So a little more background. Maria is a musical theater nut who I have been I'm in love with musical theater. So since I was 11, I've been a musical theater nerd. So we talked about things. We found out things like, the most crushworthy woman on earth is Bernadette Peters. If you disagree with me, please hang up right now and stop listening to us. Bernadette Peters is, oh my God.
Sploosh.
She is a grandmother I'd like to fuck. I say that because she's like 68. But Maria agreed with me. Both of us would love to tag team Bernadette Peters. I've smelled Bernadette Peters' hair. That's a long story, which we're not going to get into right now. But I just wanted to say,
She's so tiny and adorable.
She's
still.
adorable. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Mrs.
I mean,
Adams I saw her in New York.
Yeah,
at
and
a
she
meet
was
and greet kind of
65
thing.
at the time, and oh my God, you would never know it.
Yeah, she was perfect. She is
Yeah.
perfect. She's
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and I was so close to tasting her hair. Don't judge me. I don't fucking care what you think. But yeah, it was great. And so we talked about that. And, then Maria has wonderful choice in books. Her favorite book was Fahrenheit 451, or one of her favorite books, which who has that as a favorite book? Oh, me. I do. So it was great. So I like her a lot because I can be totally me, and which some people can get sort of not offended but put off by, because I'm not the typical guy.
Yeah.
But I can be my typical self with her, and she's still attracted to me, and it makes it very clear that she's attracted to me. And Tony, on the other hand, is like massively into you, and it's so sweet. The enamored would be the word I would use, and it's great. But
together they're just a beautiful couple. They're so much fun, and he's fun to flirt with, and so is she. I mean, both of them. It's just, when we met up with them for the first time, it really was like meeting up with old friends. It was just absolutely
it was easy.
We just fell into that groove, and it was easy.
It was easy. After we had our drinks, we walked to the front of OSS, and all of us had a massive chuckle because OSS had a sign posted on their front door, rear entry tonight. Please go around the back. Come on, you can't have a sex club and have rear entry as part of your thing. That's not. No.
So we walked around around the corner and went to the alleyway and found that rear door.
Sometimes it's hard to find.
Theirs wasn't. Nope.
No, theirs had a light above it,
lit up, and
I tend to keep mine hidden. That's not true. Sometimes mine can be hard to find. That's not true either. But it's sometimes it can be a bit rough. Then you just need more lube.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, our secret spots was not.
Theirs was easy to find. They had a bright light over it,
and we just slid right on in.
Well. Yeah, we did. Well, there was a line.
That good, eh?
Oh, wow. I almost died. We got back there, and the two ladies went into the cavernous abyss that is our secret spot.
Yep.
And the men were shuffled off away. Do you want to tell your side now, or should I go on with mine?
I'll tell my side.
Okay.
Because I think it's a better lead-in to when you join.
Yes, I would agree.
Maria and I, we went in and put our things away in lockers. Typical normal stuff. And we changed clothes. There wasn't a lot to have to change because we'd already were sort of halfway mostly dressed and whatnot. But, took off outer clothing, whatever, put everything away in the locker. And we went out to kind of see what all was going on and whatnot. And in the downstairs lounge area, where it's kind of more, I'm going to say like a meet and greet area. People can sit around and talk and whatever. That's where there's some couches, there's a pole. We went out there and there were a lot of other ladies there. There was some kind of bubbly that was being served. I think there were maybe some snacks or canapes or whatever. I didn't really pay attention to that because I wasn't very hungry.
You were looking at eating something else?
Yeah, yeah. So we.
Excuse me. Yes. Can I find the fish tacos on the menu?
Thank you, Mr. Adam.
Mama's searching for a fur burger. Sorry. I'll yes.
Yeah. So we both kind of were looking around, and there were a few groups of other ladies, small groups of people talking that, clearly knew each other, had been there before, were friends, whatever. And Maria knew somebody, I don't know if it was from another time or what, but she knew one of the other ladies, so we started chatting with her, and it was just kind of one of those natural things where people just mingle some and just bring other people in. And then there was another lady who kind of looked like she didn't really know anybody as much, and so we started talking to her, and the four of us were kind of chatting for a while and hanging out. And there were the one thing I will say was a bit odd is that there were guys who were serving us. And I mean, they were stripper guys. They put a show on later. We'll get to that. But it just seemed odd that I get it at a ladies' night. They're assuming that most of the ladies are going to, well, you would think from that they're assuming most of the ladies are going to be interested in the wait staff. But at the same time, it's ladies' night at a swingers club. Don't you think that they would be interested in each other and want female wait staff?
Yeah, but I get where they're coming from because
I think
the thing that they're aiming at there is the men are subservient,
right? And
so that gives the women a chance to objectify the men, which is
fair enough.
I don't think it's something that you get to do very often.
Yeah, and I also So it was that was it was interesting because I noticed that Maria commented on it. I heard a few comments about that. It was more in a curiosity, kind of way than it wasn't a turn off by any means. We just weren't expecting it, I guess, is more what it was. We expected it to be all females, basically. So that was the only thing really of note in that respect. I mean, they were very pretty guys that were serving us. And they were very nice. They were playful. We had to have name badges on, so they would come up and give us, funny names based on our real names and something else.
What was your name?
Ass grabbing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ass grabbing Mrs. Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I forget what some of the other ones were, but it was just a whole bunch of stuff, and it was fun. It really was good. So we sat around chatting for a while, talking. It was. Everybody was looking sexy and hot as hell. So there was, some feeling of others and light groping and whatnot. I think I saw a couple people go upstairs to play. There was some play going on in the other room on one of the couches, things like that. There was music playing, whatnot. I'm trying to think if nobody got on the pole that I recall. But it was really good.
C will be disappointed because I know C likes to ride the pole.
Yeah. It was really nice, though, just to meet a lot of other ladies, because when we go there and we're with couples, you can meet other people, but it's a different dynamic again.
Yeah.
We were talking about the dynamics earlier with male, female versus male, female, same kind of thing. So it was a little more relaxed. There was more conversation. It was more just seeing who else was there, where they are lifestyle-wise, what are they looking for. Some people were just looking to meet other people, like-minded people. Some people were looking for play partners.
Right. There
was a whole variety. There were a couple of groups that were a little cliquish and just kind of stayed to themselves. That's fine, whatever. But I tend to talk to pretty much anybody, so I just didn't really care. I'd talk to anybody.
That's my girl.
Had some really nice conversations with some ladies. And then shortly before the guys came and joined us, they gathered everyone up. They, took the obligatory photo of everyone.
Yeah. Which was posted to Twitter.
It was posted to Twitter. And then they had the wait staff, the guys, they did a nice little, stripper dance, whatever. I don't know. And at that point, Maria and I are both kind of short. We couldn't really see over everybody else. And so it wasn't so much of a show for us necessarily. So we just went on in the other room where the couches were.
You made your own fucking show.
And
God, I love you.
So we went in with one of the other ladies that we had met there. And we made our own show because we're like, we can't see that show, so we're just going to go in here and have some fun. So we went in and we started petting and making out, and we were just having some nice fun amongst the rest of us, and we just kind of ignored the whole stripper show
I love it.
If we can't see it, we're just going to make our own show.
Beautiful. I love it. That's great.
And that was about the time that Mr. Adam came in. We had no idea it was so late and that it was time for the boys to come in because we were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Time went so quickly. There was the of course, when the guys were dancing, logic would say that it's probably time for the boys to come in because they're changing the vibe when the guys start dancing.
That's a good point. Yeah.
However, it didn't feel like it had been long enough, so I thought it was more of an intermission. We're halfway through to
Mama wants an intermission. She needs an act 2. Let's play with these curtains.
Yeah. So, but I honestly didn't realize that it had been that long.
That's funny.
But it does make sense that, they're changing the dynamic by having the guys dance and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Adam and Tony showed up, and it was like, oh, hello, fellas.
Hello, boys. So we'll go back in time again a bit. So Tony and I were left outside. We let the ladies go in, and we had been instructed to go to a local bar, which was close by. So we walked to this bar, looked around. If you've never been... Sydney's odd for bars because a lot of these pubs and bars are old hotels. Yeah. So they tend to be kind of sprawling, and most of them are 2 plus stories. So we wandered around the bottom, couldn't find anybody we recognized. We goed up. My God, there's my Kentucky upbringing. Thank you, public schooling. We went up to the second level. And didn't see anybody. We walked around. There were some little outdoor areas. There was a couple. We just didn't see anybody that we recognized. So we were like, all right, well, we're at the wrong bar, but let's get a drink anyway. Because he and I hadn't spent a lot of time together.
And you at least knew that you had to be back at OSS at 9.
Yes.
So regardless, as long as you show up at the door at 9, you're fine.
It didn't really matter. Yeah. So we had a drink or 2 downstairs and just talked to each other. It was good to kind of get to know him and a little more about him face to face. And so we actually ended up walking back to OSS. And by the time we got there, we saw Baby Doll. Mm-hmm. She was guarding the door, and we were like, hey, where are the guys supposed to be? And she said the bar that we were just at, and we're like, no, they're not there. And so she gave us the Law's phone number, and on the way back, we called him, and he was like, we're upstairs, and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, we were upstairs. He's like, no, you have to go upstairs and up another level stairs, and we're in a little room there. It's just for us. And so come to find out, yes, it was in one of those random rooms that we missed, and we went up there, and we got another drink and stood around, and this is nothing against the clientele or OSS or anything, but it was not my scene. Yeah. It was a bunch of guys standing around basically wondering what the women were doing. And anybody who's listened to this podcast,
you're not a guy's guy.
I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy's
Yeah.
guy. I don't want to sit around and talk about cars. I don't want to sit around and talk about the local sports. I don't care about that.
You're a very social person, but you're not a guy's guy.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we talked to some guys, and we had a very uncomfortable conversation, Tony and I, with some guy that was making relatively homophobic conversation. And I felt bad for Tony because, admittedly, he had just met me. He knows I'm fully bi. He's not. He's a straight. Yeah. He's straight. But he kept looking at me, and could tell he was trying to read my response to this guy who was making just like outrageously homophobic comments. And I'm sitting there going, it doesn't bother me. This guy's an idiot, and I don't really need to be around him period. And so the long and short of it is, Tony started talking to somebody that I didn't know either. So I was like, oh, look, I just got a text from the lady. And
Yay, lady,
hey,
his
lady,
savior.
God, I love you, girl. So she saved me, and I texted her back, and I think I excused myself from the circle of people, and walked outside, and basically I think I had a 40-minute conversation with her on the phone. But I called her, and I was like, you've saved me, because I'm in a group of guys, and I don't know how to talk to them. And so she talked to me for a while, and it was, bless her. But it was... I didn't really enjoy it. I really like the law, and I like Tony, but I don't fit in with that crowd. So it was a bit uncomfortable for me. But then,
What would be interesting to me to see is who those guys were partnered with, and if they were any of the cliquey girls, or if they were any of the girls who were roaming around talking to others.
Well, we know the guy that was making the homophobic responses was the one that was in the dressing room when you and I went in there, and she was making out with some other girl, and he was only wearing his jeans,
right,
and wouldn't take anything off, and was staring at them in a sort of drunk, I don't know, potentially high or something sort of way. Again, I don't care about drugs, because I am very 420 friendly, and anybody who's listened to our podcast knows that I'm basically an alcoholic that doesn't go to a meeting. #lush. But I would have said he seemed disinterested in watching the girls. So he's both homophobic and disinterested in watching two women make out. So read into that whatever you think, but whatevs. But yeah, so we left the bar and made it back to OSS and paid our entry, and the first thing I realized was I don't got no key. So I knew we had a locker, but I was like, I have no idea where the keys are. So I'm walking in fully clothed to OSS, which is really awkward. I got to be honest.
I've never really done that.
Like, all right. This is weird. So I found you, and you were in a delightful lady puppy pile.
Yes, it was very delightful.
And I was like, hey! And the response I got was classic. It was like, what are you doing here? Already? Is it 9 o'clock already? I was like, I love you too, but can I have the keys so I can drop some of these clothes off?
That's because I was in a happy little place, my own little world with the other couple ladies.
Happy little place known as somebody else's legs.
Yeah, and it just, it was one of those kind of surreal moments that I look up and there you are, and I had to kind of snap back to reality and be like, oh, yeah, right, you're supposed to be here.
That's great. So I got the key from you, and I went and I dressed down a bit. I don't remember what I was wearing. I was probably just wearing underwear. You
were. I think it was the black, like pleathery looking ones or whatever.
It was, yeah. And then I came out and found the ladies again. And then I don't remember where Tony was, but did all 5 of us go to the St. Andrew's Cross?
I don't recall, but my guess would be yes, because I don't think he would have been very far away from Maria.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know he was with us when we came out later, but I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Admittedly, I was more focused on.
We went to OSS, and there's a St. Andrew's Cross there, and I like to get beaten, so I was like, oh, let's go to the cross so the ladies can wail on me for a bit. Yeah. And I know that the ladies wailed on me for a bit, and it was beautiful. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. It was great. And then I think we put one of the other ladies up on, right?
Yes, for a brief time.
For a brief bit. Yeah. And then you and Maria whipped on her a bit. It's so funny. I feel so bad because this entire time I'm like, was Tony even there?
I think actually I do recall he was sitting back watching more. He didn't participate in any of the...
I was still recovering. I was still in that post kind of shakes.
Yeah, he wasn't participating in any of the whipping or anything, which is why you probably don't remember him at all.
Okay.
Because it was just the ladies who were taking turns on you.
So, and so then we left out of there, and at that point it was like, we are either going to stay here all night or we need to go home because we have an early morning flight out of the country.
Right.
So we ended up standing in the hallway and
making out a little.
I made out a lot with with Maria, who
and I made out some with Tony.
She was kind of drunk at the time as well.
Yeah.
which isn't, not saying she made bad decisions, but she was making out with me. But that was hot. Yeah. And then I think Tony was making out with you a lot, and that was hot. And I was like, oh my God.
It was so tempting to stay.
It really was.
It was just one of those, we either stay here until our flight in the morning, or we have to do the adult thing and go home. And
I really wanted to play with them that night.
It was tough. We really debated about that one, but we finally, after a while of making out, made the adult decision and decided to go home.
Yeah, I have a massive crush on her.
And part of me at the time really regretted it, because I'm like, I really want to play with them. I really like them, and I really want to.
And that was the night before our swingcation. So.
It was. And I was just, it was one of those times that afterwards I kind of wondered, have we blown it? It was at our chance with them.
Yeah.
And because we didn't play, are they going to still be interested? Or are they going to be like, no, they blew us off?
I thought the same thing.
And
I thought the same thing.
So I was really kind of concerned about that. And fortunately, that's not what happened, thankfully. But,
bless them and their bad decisions.
Yeah. But I was kind of, thinking, well, what if they're disappointed that we didn't stay and play with them and whatever, and Yeah. So
it was great though. I think that we have built and are still building a really strong friendship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a massive crush on her. Massive.
But back to I would say overall though, with Ladies' Night, it was, for not being sure about going in the first place, I am so glad that I did go.
Would you go back again?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured.
Yeah, it was.
You had a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and it was a different vibe than is normal, because it was just the ladies at first, and it's a great way to meet people. You know, whether you play or not, it doesn't matter. It's just, again, you can just be in an element and be yourself. You don't have to filter. You meet like-minded people, hot like-minded people. And yeah, it was a very nice environment. I would go back hands down in a heartbeat when they do it again next.
I have to be honest. A part of me wishes that OSS would do just a whole night of bisexuality.
Yeah.
Where, and I'm okay with bi accepting, heteroflexible, whatever you want to call it. I would love to see them do at least one party like that, just to see. It may be a complete flop.
See what the interest is in it.
Yeah, see what the interest is. It may be an absolute and complete flop. But I would love to see something like that. I would be there with fucking bells on.
Hello.
Color you shocked. I know. I don't care. But it's... because I see how the ladies' night goes, and I'm like, that works. It really works, and it bums me out that the men don't have the same opportunities. So I don't know. Maybe it's a thought. Hint, hint, hint. That was. I mean, overall, it was great. I would like to go back.
Yeah, for sure.
In the future. So that's
we got to free up our calendar a little bit. We'll make it work.
Oh, God.
We'll book it in sometime.
We need to see. Yeah, so I will do a quick plug for OSS because admittedly, we've only been there twice, which isn't very often. We keep wanting to go back, but honestly, we've had our calendar over the last couple months has been crazy.
Yeah.
And then I know they were gone for a while for vacations. But check out their website. It's I think it's www.oursecretspot.com.au. Let me confirm that.
Verify that, yeah. But they do have events going on all the time, and a whole variety of things. They have the what is it, the white parties or whatever.
They do white parties. They do glow parties.
Yeah, glow
ladies'
parties. Night. They've got the sexy in his shirt, where the ladies are supposed to wear a man's shirt,
which I think is C.
That's
from Swinging Down Under.
Yep, that was her idea.
I think that was her idea, which I think is it's a very clever idea because I got to be honest, there is nothing hotter than you wearing one of my white button-up business shirts. Hot. But they have all kinds of events going on, masquerade parties. Yeah.
The ladies' night, they'll do that from time to time. So just keep an eye out on their website. Look and see what's going on.
Yeah. I would definitely give it a go.
Yeah,
it's worth a try.
Sure.
I mean, even if you go and have some drinks beforehand, there's no play required.
No.
You go and you talk to people. You find it's a world of like-minded people, which is nice. But I would highly recommend it. Yeah.
Definitely.
So does that wrap up our ladies' night coverage?
I think so.
Yeah. So do we have a question? Do we want to ask a question?
We do.
All right. You gonna ask it?
I'm gonna ask it.
Whoa. All right. I'm bracing myself.
It's not that important of a question.
Oh, well then I'm gonna.
It's still a curiosity, though.
I'm just gonna glance at you disinterestedly, man.
Oh, fine, fine. So, if you were suddenly single,
Okay.
would you be more apt to pursue someone of the same or the opposite sex? Does it matter? And we're not talking about just taking what comes along, but pursue.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start that with when you say suddenly single, I hear suddenly Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. Suddenly single,
Yeah, it does kind of sound like
boy or a girl now. Suddenly single. All right, sorry. um, so, to be honest, I would probably pursue a male for future relationships. Um, I would not be monogamous. I will never be monogamous again. That's not in who I am. So, but I do think I would be more apt to pursue a man for future long-term relationships than another woman. And I don't know. I'm gonna supplement that with the reason is I'm making a gross generalization for all women here, and all men.
Mm-hmm.
But men and gay couples tend to be much more open than heterosexual couples. They're much more likely. It's much easier to find a guy that you're like, oh, look, I want to have a permanent relationship with you, but I also want to see other people on the side. But that's not going to affect our permanent relationship. You are still my primary partner.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot more common in the male-male community than it is in the male-female community. So perhaps that's a cop-out, or perhaps I don't know. But that is part of the reason I would do that. That's what I'm looking for. I would want somebody who is comfortable with me seeking outside sex relationships, love even. So yeah, I think I can say with near it. Ultimately, it wouldn't matter if I found another female that would fulfill those needs and those necessary wants. Then yeah, I would go after her. But realistically, I think that I've got a better chance of doing that statistically if I follow a male-male relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, whatever comes along, I'd be happy with. How about you?
So I'm a bit torn on that. Simply because I look at my gut reaction would be to say that I would pursue a relationship with a woman. The problem is that a lot of the women that I'm attracted to tend to be more girly girls, and I don't, and when it comes to relating to them, especially on a more daily basis, that's hard for me because I'm not a girly girl, and so I don't know that I could have a long-term relationship with a female unless they were someone who's a lot more laid back. And I don't know. But then at the same time, having a relationship with a guy, I like more, I'm going to say more feminine guys, not the kind of blokey blokes that go to the pub every night and watch,
Footy.
the footy and stuff. Yeah. But those guys tend to not be as interested in females. And so, it really depends. I think as far as who would I pursue, I would probably say females and try to find someone, who was more laid back and not quite as girly. I don't know. And again, like you said, I couldn't have a monogamous relationship. So the most important thing would be finding someone who's okay with having an open relationship.
Right.
And so then you can fulfill those needs of male or female or whatever. But to me, it's more about the emotional connection. And there are some females, I will say that I make a better emotional connection with females. I'm better with that now than I used to be. because it used to be that I didn't really have very many female friends, some here and there, and they tended to be, I'd have like one or two very close female friends, but not very many on the periphery.
Right.
Most of my good friends were boys. And I'm finding more females now, and maybe it is because we're more open about our lifestyle, but I'm finding more females that I can make that emotional connection with.
So why was it that you pursued me? I mean, because are you saying this difference happened in 3 years?
No, admittedly, I wasn't necessarily pursuing male or female when we got together. It's just it was personality. It was that personality, and the fact that you were comfortable in your skin. You were okay with not being a blokey bloke kind of person, and you're funny, and you don't agree, but you're sexy.
Well, clearly I'm funny.
But it was just, again, it was more personality at that point.
Right.
And it wouldn't have mattered, what sex you were. Like I said, I was not looking for male or female at the time. I wasn't actively pursuing anyone then, really. But if I had to choose now, I would say probably female. Does that mean I would end up with a female? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand I understand where you're coming from.
But it's hard for me to, especially with new people, to put my guard down and to trust and be close to them.
Yeah.
And I'm better, like I said, now than I used to be. But it's hard to get past that, and it really would just depend on how people relate to that, I guess.
Yeah, you said something else that spurred a question, but I can't remember what it was.
Do I need to pause and let you go back and listen?
I know, almost, I do. Because I remember you said, because my first question was, why did you pursue me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't recall. Oh well, it must not have been important. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because it had to do with, I know the question. It had to do with, you were talking about. Oh yes, so you were saying you have trouble connecting with girly girls.
Yeah.
So on what level? What part of that do you have trouble connecting with?
I would say when it comes to...
I guess before you do that, I'm sorry, I interrupt. Define girly girl.
I guess I think of a girly girl as more somebody who enjoys going out and shopping and doing the whole, go shopping on a Saturday morning and go have lunch at a cafe and sit around and gossip and chit-chat and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know, spend not a lot of time, but spend more time on makeup and nails and hair and blah, blah, blah. Just that kind of thing. And I find those people, physically attractive, but I don't do that, especially the whole shopping thing. I don't do shopping. Well,
you realize you just described me, except for, the whole makeup. I don't put on makeup, but I love to get up. I love to go shopping. I like, I get my texts from Oxford. I'm all excited because there's a sale on, and I like to go and I like to try on clothes, and I like to make you try on clothes, and
But we don't do that frequently, though.
I'm only because of our income.
Well, fair enough.
And even with our income, I like going to the secondhand shops, and we do that, pretty commonly. We're in Vinny's looking at stuff and seeing what's going on, and. I'm not obsessed with my nails, sure, but I use moisturizer, and I'm obsessed with my hair, and
Fair enough. Maybe that's why I relate to girly girls better now than I used to.
That's it. I'm thinking I've primed you for the next girly girl. So
excellent.
Girly girl of the future, you're fucking welcome. So I knew that when you said that, I'm like, I am a girly girl. I know that because I like to gossip. You know me. I like to sit and gossip. I like to sit and talk. That's been something that we've had counseling over. It's like, I'm the one that wants to talk about everything. Oh my God, did you see what she was wearing? Oh my God, Becky, look at that butt. She must be one of those rapper girlfriends.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why I'm better with it now. Because I used to have no tolerance for that whatsoever.
Well, yeah. You've developed a tolerance because of me.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. That's kind of interesting.
Well, all right. Well, maybe I would have a better time with females than I think I would.
They'd call you the
have
Slayer.
A better chance. Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, cool.
Think we're good?
So, yeah, find us wherever podcasts are sold. We're on iTunes, of course. We're on Stitcher. We're on, what's that new one?
Pocket Cast.
Pocket Cast. That's one that's relatively new. Or find us on the website. Our website is www.bytheby.com.au.
That was terrible.
Shut up.
I just got
that. If it's so bad, why are you laughing?
I can't help it. You're funny.
I am funny. Yeah, I am. Follow us on Twitter, please. We are at the Atoms of Love. We have a very special picture that's coming up once we hit 1,000 people, and we are currently, as of this podcasting, at 825.
Yes.
It's
coming up.
It's coming up. It will probably be out. We'll probably hit 1,000 before this podcast actually releases.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenge is on, bitches. Email us, please. We need questions. We like talking to people. We really do. We've had some really good responses from email, and we really appreciate it. We respond to every email that we get. You guys, I mean, it's the people. You guys are why we do this. I also like to hear myself talk, but I don't actually listen to our podcasts. Once it's recorded, I don't think I ever listen to it. Mrs. Adam listens to it, and she's like, "Oh my God, that was funny," or "You're an idiot." That's what she sounds like in my head. But I never listen to it. I can't be bothered to listen to myself because I'm boring. I don't know why you guys keep downloading this. Anyway, but we love it. But email us at theatomsoflove@gmail.com. We got a Facebook page. I don't know. Search for By the By Podcast, something like that. Yeah. And anything else? Did I miss any of our other social media shit?
I think you got it all.
I probably got all the important stuff. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Wait, I can't say that. God, that sounds so stupid. Let's try this again. We'll talk to y'all next time. I don't know. Say something in closing.
I'm not the closer.
Perfect. Love you guys. Bye.